Hi everybody, my name is Charlie Chun, expert halo trainer, and today we're going to be talking about winter wellness. During the winter, sometimes things just slip our mind. It's a little colder outside, so our dogs aren't walking as much. We're not taking them out as much. So today I wanted to remind everybody how to keep our dogs safe, how to keep them warm. One of the first things you can always do is adjust your walking schedule. Because it's going to be colder, you might not be able to go out as early as you're used to or as late as you're used to. We're limited on daylight, so we might have to walk a little later in the mornings or a little earlier in the evenings. Depending on how active your dog is or what weather they like, you might have to increase or decrease the amount of food your dog eats. Some people just keep their dog on the same amount no matter what. We actually want to make sure we're fluctuating because if you're not going out and exercising with your dog, they're going to gain on some weight. So make sure you're adjusting your food to fit what kind of lifestyle you have. Are you more active in the winter? You're going to be needing more calories. When it's cold out, it's very common for dogs to become dehydrated. Just like humans, when it's cold out, we don't want to drink water. We feel cold, and the last thing we want to do is put more cold into our body. To help our dogs rehydrate without them having to think about it, a good way to start is adding gravy or water right into their main meal. This way, you're rehydrating them, you're rehydrating their kibble, and they might actually like it because it'll bring out those flavors in their food. Another way to help rehydrate your dog is to add more fruits and vegetables into their diet. A personal favorite of mine is watermelon. I like it because it has a high water content and it's super tasty. When it gets colder, it's very common that we don't always want to go out with our dog. What's wonderful is you have the halo collar. You make sure that that's on, and when you let your dog out, they're able to run around and you know that they're going to be safe staying in the yard. Another wonderful thing about having the halo collar is you can actually track how active they are. And this is going to help you know, ooh, my dog really didn't move around a lot today. We need to go on an extra walk, or wow, my dog was running around a lot. Great, I get an extra nap. And during these winter months, make sure we're actually checking our halo collar as well to make sure it's still fitting. A lot of the times when the weight is fluctuating, whether they're intaking more calories or they're decreasing in weight, we want to make sure it's not too loose and it's not too tight. If you're struggling to find ways to help keep your dogs active, you can always check out my video of indoor activities with your dog during the winter time. Depending on where you live, you might actually have to dress your dog so that they can go outside and be comfortable. So what I'm going to be showing you is how to desensitize or condition your dog to be okay with wearing clothes. So we have Harley here. She's never worn a coat, never worn boots. And so I'm going to show you how to help desensitize and condition her to be comfortable with me touching her paws and eventually wearing these items. So we're going to start off with the booties here. What is that? No, we don't eat that. And that's okay, she's a puppy, so they like to explore stuff by putting it in their mouths. So I'm just gonna gently take that away. And we wanna be using the dog's favorite food or something that's gonna keep them intrigued with you. So she is very food motivated. So now that I have food, I have her attention completely. So right off the bat, she's gonna be eating, and I'm gonna kind of just do this and give her a little rub. And then I'm gonna give her a little bit more food. And as I treat her, that's when I'm gonna start messing with her paws. And so that way she gets a good association. Hey, every time he touches my paws, I get food. It's not so bad. Sometimes dogs get very picky or they get nervous about being touched. This is a really good way to help desensitize them. And it's very subtle. I'm not doing it a lot. It's just a little rub, little touch, and then I relax. So she's more interested in the food than anything. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this booty and I'm gonna start taking the booty and putting her paw on it and helping her just get used to, hey, this is gonna be on your paw, around your paw, near you, right? So that's all we're doing is just desensitizing and getting her used to that. So, good girl. I'm gonna try and break up these treats really small. There we go. That way it'll keep her busy. I'm gonna take this. Good girl. Good girl, Harley. Wonderful. So let's try and make the next step. I always find that if you roll your booty, it'll make it a little easier. So as you see right here, I'm just gonna roll it open like that. That way the dog can get used to the sensation inside because it's a different material inside than it is outside. So I have the booty here, same thing, I'm gonna give food, and then I'm gonna start to put it on the dog's paw, as if I was going to put it on. So as you can see, it is a very slow process, but the benefit of it is you're not gonna be fighting with your dog every single time you're trying to get them into their winter wear. So get your dog nice and comfortable. You might only be able to do 1 paw a day. If you're able to start early, so before the winter months start getting really bad or really cold, you have some time to play with before you're struggling and freaking out and losing time. So that's what we do with the booties. And like I said, you'll get plenty of practice because you're gonna be doing it on all 4 paws. So try maybe 1 paw every 5 minutes. And if you're really struggling with it, you might only be able to get a couple on, that's okay. The next thing that Harley is gonna help us with is how to desensitize to coats and jackets. This is going to be a little bit easier than the booties, and it's gonna be a very similar process. I'm gonna have this around, and I'm just gonna be feeding her and kind of just petting her with it, kind of just having it around. And if she moves around, that's okay. I'm not gonna be forcing her into the jacket, but I do want her to just not really mind it and pay attention to the food instead. So I'm gonna bring her around. Good girl. And then boom, putting the jacket on while she's distracted with the treats. And when she's done, I take it off. So I'll show you that one more time. Let's go. Good, boom, right there. So she's getting, again, that good association with, oh, it's not that bad. I get food whenever they do this. And eventually they just won't mind at all because they understand you're not trying to hurt them or do anything weird. So I'm gonna bring her around. Come on, Harley. Come on. Good. I'm gonna put the jacket over. I can try and do the straps. Good, take the straps off, boom, reward with another treat. Good girl. So it's a little bit of a process. You're showing the dog, hey, if you let me do this, then you're gonna get more food. So first we were using the food as a distraction, and now we're kind of using it as a reward. So I distract, I put on, vest, off, good, reward. So you can see she started to kind of back away from it a little bit. And so when your dog starts to show signs of stress or signs of fear, that's a good stopping point. You want to end it on a positive note. So I'm going to do one more small thing, which is kind of take a step back. I might just hold it to her and give her food, and then that'll be it. That shows me that we ended on a good note and I didn't push her too hard or force her into the clothes. Of course, we take care of our dogs year-round, but during the winter, sometimes we have to adjust and make sure that our dogs are still comfortable no matter the weather. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Charlie Chun, and I'll see you next time.